If you've ever been working out outside and two cicadas have flown directly into your face, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, folks. We are back for another episode of Live Trading. It is Friday. We had a party yesterday, but we're going to have more fun today, that's for sure. 13 is back. We're going to go ahead and figure out where we're trading here today.
Welcome to Benzinga Live Trading.
Let's see if this actually kind of comes back.
Way out of control, got way too high.
All right. Hey, I will take that. I will absolutely take that.
Hello and welcome back, everybody. TGIF. It is Friday. Let's go ahead and get this party started. Welcome back, all fresh from his nice vacation. 13, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How's everybody out there? I heard it's been a bit of a boring week. Let's see if we can end it with a little bit more excitement. How about that?
It's been a boring week in the market, but our community gives no damns about that and is going to make every day fun, and that is exactly what they've done all week long. Jonathan Cooper commenting, ooh, new clean look. Maybe 13's turning over a new leaf here. Haircut and no hat. Let's go ahead and get it. Also, going to bring on news by Nick. Nick, how are you doing here today?
Good morning. Happy Friday. Let's get this week over with.
Let's get this week over with. There you go. Tell us how you really feel, Nick. We will, in fact, go ahead and get that down. We're going to start here with the SPY, of course. Actually, I forgot to get my other screen going here, but we'll do that here in a sec. We're going to start here with the SPY. We are still kind of in that breakout range. Now, we're a little bit weak here in the pre-market. In the pre-market today, we actually did trade beneath yesterday's intraday low, but we popped back above it. So I want to see if that's going to be able to hold up when the market actually opens here. My gut feeling is that we continue some of this weakness going into the weekend. But we'll see if that's what ends up materializing here. Again, we were just kind of staying inside. I think maybe here we break down, possibly filling the gap down to that 536 level. That looks absolutely within range from where we're at here today. 13, I know it's been a while, but do you have anything here on the SPY that you're looking for here today?
Looking for that downside gap to fill. That was something I was kind of putting out in the chat yesterday that I'd be looking at. I have some work I need to do over the weekend, updating charts and whatnot. So I'll have more for you on Monday. But from what I just looking at right now, I think I'd like to see that gap get filled. That looks like the next thing that could possibly happen. But we'll see.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. Like I said, we'll see if we get that here. I have no positions on for the broader market or anything like that. Swings have been good to me in my main account. Day trades have kind of been a little rough. We'll see what we're able to get done here today. However, let's go ahead and talk about some of those movers. Then I'd like to go through any news that Nick has that might be affecting the market here. And then we'll talk about any stocks that you folks want to take a look at. We do have a couple of issues here today that we should cover. First one's going to be AIMD. This is a penny stock that has busted into dollar territory here. And so far, at least in the pre-market, it's done a really good job of holding on to that dollar territory despite the declining volume. We're about 12 cents away from the VWAP here, so potential move up to the VWAP out of the open is possible. But for a higher move, we want to see that reclaim that VWAP, perhaps even build above. Catalyst that's driving this stock here this morning, Anios, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, unveils critical progress in Anios Flora clinical trials and next-gen plans powered by an NVIDIA CUDA. So 13, what do you think? Did you look at this one here? What do you think about this PR?
I did. And, it's always nice to hear about progress in clinical trials, know that the money is actually getting put towards something. The big buzzword news, of course, was the NVIDIA CUDA. So that's probably going to help it go a little bit, move it a little bit more. 2.4 million share float. They did a 1-for-5 reverse split back in December. And other than that, I think it's just going to get moved around on that PR. So this might be a one time and done thing until the next catalyst for this one.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there. It was just kind of going through the PR there a little bit. I'm not going to read that aloud. You guys can do that if you want. does kind of feel like this is a little bit generic. Maybe this is one of those ones that comes back in. May 31st, they did file for $200 million in a mixed shelf. So we'll see here. AIMD, it's at the top of the movers list here today. Not my favorite target here. I do kind of like the chart formation if it can really kind of catch. We'll see if that happens here right around the open.
The one scary thing about the chart formation is how it has these nasty looking upper shadows. We're going to need to see this reclaim VWAP in order for me to feel a bit more comfortable about it. But let's see what happens when it touches VWAP. If it doesn't get rejected, then we might still have this in play. But if it does, then we're going to have to look for downside targets where it could potentially bounce. And it looks like $1 might be the first spot.
Thinking about it, giving you some really deep analysis here. AIMD has AI in the ticker symbol. Buy. We've actually seen that in some of these smaller stocks here. I don't think that necessarily is going to play out here today, but you know what? Thinking about it, stranger things have happened before. Am I right? So we'll see if that ends up taking off here. Next one we should all be more familiar with. This is long Jevon. This is on a 3-day run at the moment. Actually, if we go to the 15-minute chart, let's confirm that. 1, 2, and this is the start of the 3rd day. The one thing here to keep in mind, no, I know it's a joke thinking. I was joking too. The one thing to monitor here today on LGVN is going to be this double top that we've created. I've got this at about 392, maybe technically it's 391. Let's see. 391 is the high of that first candle there. So 391 double top. We'll see if we can actually punch through that. If we zoom in a little bit more, we're kind of getting some of the action that we've seen before. I know that the pre-market volume here is obviously dwarfed by the regular session volume. But if you look at what happened yesterday, this thing really kind of grinded up in the pre-market. We got a little bit of that profit taking right at the open, and boom, got a much bigger move in the regular session. We're going to be watching for that here today. And the other thing is that if we get that same type of upside move, it's going to take out this double top, and that actually might add fuel to the fire. So we'll see here. LGVN, remember, this is trading up on the $15.10 price valuation that it got several days ago. Forgot what firm that was. Let me just make sure I don't misquote it. Zacks. That was the Zacks price valuation. So that's what's going on in long Jevon. We traded this one yesterday. This gave us a great VWAP setup as we were talking to Brian Shannon about VWAP. That was really sweet. We'll see if we get that here again today. 13, you got anything on long Jevon?
Well, probably nothing that you folks are going to hear that's new. So I'll just stick with what I think might be new to y'all, and that would be the RSI is a little bit elevated on this one. So I think after this movement that we've had, just be careful about a more upside. Like you said, the double top is there too. So there's that technical aspect of it as well. But just be careful. I think the high RSI could end up being something that affects the price action today. So just keep that in mind.
Okay. High RSI. We're definitely at a resistance area, a double top area. All good things to keep in mind. We'll see if long Jevon ends up giving us an opportunity here today. Next on the list is going to be ONMD. This is one we should all be familiar with. We've traded this one a number of times in the past. Kind of been lying dormant recently. If we look back here, look at this. There were several days in a row where this stock was really kind of going crazy. Last, few weeks, maybe 2 weeks, this thing has lied kind of dormant, although this did pull back to this 110 115-ish area. This is where off that initial pop it actually found some support and went higher. So it looks like we bounced here. If we zoom in, you can see that this actually traded back up to another former support point that is now acting as resistance. So I'll be interested to see if we can get above 160 here on ONMD, just kind of looking at some of the recent trading action. In the pre-market here today, we're actually in the makes of another type of double top formation. I know it's only a 1-minute chart, so it is what it is. But this initial pop here came back down to the VWAP, crossed through it, tried to go back up there, really couldn't take it out. We'll see if ONMD has some volume flow when the market actually opens here. 13, you got anything on this one?
It seems like this has been when we traded before, so I guess that puts it into the old girlfriend category. The float on this one is 12 million shares, so shouldn't have too much of a problem moving it around. But I just don't know how much action we're going to get with this. I don't really think, without some more news, that this is really going to move things a whole lot. There's no high short interest to help it along. It hasn't reverse split to help that move it along. So I just really don't know with this one. I'm not sure that we'll get a whole bunch of movement.
Not our best setup here today is what it sounds like.
Right. Yeah, and that looks like that's the case too. So maybe I'm wrong, and later on it'll provide some trades, but I'm not sure that this is going to give us a whole lot out of the open. So we'll just keep it on our radar and see what happens.
No, pretty nasty reversal here from 154 too, down in the 138 handle. All right. While we were talking there, it looks like Kavl. This is Henry Kavl, right? This is this is the pet name that you gave this before. Okay, so this one popping here. I'd be really careful here at this $4 level. Just FYI. Looks like it. Yep, actually just traded above it there. So did we have any news on this? Let's see. I don't see any news here. If you guys have anything, let me know. I don't see anything here on Kavl. This is a nice little spike though on volume. Pretty huge move here. Not necessarily sure what's going around. Wow, we went right through that $4 level. All right. This is where we were at. Okay, so we pretty much traded into this consolidation area the last time this thing really popped. This was actually a little bit beneath 4. I thought this was a little bit closer to 4. Here we go, pulling back to that area now. Next levels here, I'm actually going to go ahead and mark these on my chart real quick just to remind me of what's going on. I thought I was just going to say about who I really am, but that's neither here nor there. Here we go. I'm going to mark off some of these levels on Kavl just in case we get back up there. I don't think this thing's running to 10 today, but nice little volume pop right there. You got anything on this 113?
It looks like it has a pretty high short interest and a very low float, so that's going to help move this along. I don't know what the news catalyst is, but maybe it's just getting pushed around because it has that short interest. I didn't really cover this one, as you guys pointed out. This is just now starting to move, which is great. So there might be some trades here if we just use some levels like you were putting out there, Ryan. But yeah. I think this is going to be a bit of a squeeze play here that we're seeing today. And remind me if there was some kind of nicotine or cigarette news out, or some kind of nicotine product news out recently, earlier this month. I could have sworn I saw something about that, and I was trying to see if there was maybe a connection between this and that news that I thought I heard, because this is this distributes nicotine products.
Yeah, I don't know offhand what that news is, but if we find it, there we go. David's asking which stock, the one right on the screen here, dude. Kavl, Kilo Alpha Victor Lima. Okay, next stock here on the list is going to be Bpth. This is Bpth Holdings. Catalyst here, Bpth Holdings shares are trading higher after the company announced interim results from its phase 2 study of one of its drugs that has a bunch of crazy letters in it, in combination with Dectabine and another drug that I'm not going to try to pronounce, for the treatment of acute myeloid leukemia. So Bpth here, pretty decent PR. This popped above 180. We came all the way back down to that 220. We're trading a little bit sideways. The big thing for me is that we're under the VWAP. Getting above this VWAP, recapturing it, perhaps even building above that would be the next thing that I want to see here. I feel like we've traded Bpth here, 1.8 million float. It's already traded its average volume here in the pre-market. So we should be good to go here on Bpth. Should just be able to use technicals to trade this. Be wary of a breakdown from 220, and we'll see if this ends up bottoming. You got anything on Bpth 13?
1.83 million share float. They did a 1 for 20 reverse split on February 23rd. And this is moving off of their phase 2 interim results. So there could be some more phase 2 results to come. So we're not really necessarily looking forward to phase 3 yet, I suppose. Didn't really dig into what the drugs are that they're referring to here, but yeah, I think we still might get some more phase 2 data on this. So there could be another headline coming on that.
Okay. Oh, that news that you were talking about earlier. Thank you, chat. Juul got unbanned. It was
that one, and then there was another Wall Street Journal report earlier this week that said why America is running low on Zyn nicotine products. Maker Philip Morrison expects shortage to last until year end as the brand's lone U.S. factory tries to meet surging demand in Zyndemic.
Okay, so that
Zyn product is this synthetic nicotine product, right? I'm not familiar. I don't use it, so
I don't either.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that that's what that is. I'll look that up here real quick. We'll do that. We'll do that in a sec. That's all I've got here for the movers. So I guess we can flip over here. Nick, do you have, or I guess we do either one. Nick, do you have any news that we should cover here today? And then 13, do you have any stocks that you want to take a look at?
Go, Nick.
Yes. Throw up a chart of Adobe, ticker ADBE. They got earnings last night.
Sorry.
That's okay.
It
was a great report overall. Adjusted EPS came in at 448. Estimate was for 439. Sales came in at 5.31 billion. Estimate was for 5.29 billion, so it beat there. They issued a pretty strong guidance on the top and bottom line. They see Q3 non-GAAP EPS to $4.50 to $4.55. Estimate was for $4.17, so well above expectations. They see Q3 revenue $5.33 billion to $5.38 billion. Estimate was for $5.03 billion. They see full year non-GAAP EPS $18 to $18.20. Estimate was for $16.78. They also see full year 24 revenue $21.4 billion to $21.5 billion. Estimate was for only $19.98 billion. And then they gave some other full year metric guidance. They see full year digital experience subscription revenue $4.77 billion to $4.82 billion. They see full year 24 digital media segment revenue $15.8 billion to $15.85 billion. And then they see full year 24 digital experience segment revenue $5.32 billion to $5.37 billion.
Okay, so sounds like a pretty good report there for Adobe, up 15.7% here. The interesting note about Adobe, at least from its daily chart here, we're actually in a gap. And in fact, we're in a gap that fills here at about 571, so another good 40 points if this continues to trade to the upside. Also worth noting that 200-day is going to provide some resistance there at 544. That's only 16 points above where we're at right now. So something to keep in mind here. Really big pop, good volume. RSI here at about 72. So I'd like to see what Adobe does here. Maybe this can pull back to the 100-day and kind of consolidate there. That would bring the RSI in a little bit. Seems like a pretty good report. You got anything here on Adobe?
No, I didn't do any coverage on this, but there is an interesting trend line that it's got. If you look at a larger daily chart or even a weekly, you can see that we've come up to two peaks, once in November of 21 and one more recently in February. That we're headed up into that direction. Now, I'm be curious to see if we're going to break out of that with this kind of report. We eventually might, especially since we're going to be testing that trend line much sooner rather than later, like we had with that almost 2-year gap, a little more than 2 years between the two peaks there. So this is the trend line that I'd be interested in watching for a breakout in an ADB.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, that one.
Yep. And before that happens here, first of all, if you're going to look at the weekly chart, you do have the 50-week moving average there at 538. And then remember that 200-day at 544. So there likely is going to be some resistance on the way up to that trend line or before clearing that gap. So, okay, good stuff with Adobe. Nick, did you have anything else? News-wise.
Tesla. We talked about Tesla. The shareholders approved Elon Musk's $56 billion pay package. Remember, even though they approved it, it still has to go back to the Delaware court. Kimball Musk and James Murdoch reelected as directors. Investors support moving jurisdiction to Texas from Delaware. And within the last minute or so, we just got a headline saying Musk officially shifts Tesla Incorporation to Texas after the vote.
Okay, there you go. I don't think any of that was unexpected. At least it wasn't for me. I guess maybe Kimball staying on as a director. I don't know how that really applies here, though. Tesla, the one thing that we had been talking about recently on Tesla that looks like so far it's in the rear view mirror is this compression, right? This sideways compression. Told you that it's not going to stay here. It's going to break out of this at some point. It's going to break up or break down. Good news on the pay package showing you that we're actually breaking up here. So looking pretty good here on Tesla. We're still inside this candle. So the levels that I'm looking at immediately here are going to be 191 and then 181. So that 10-point range, we're about dead smack in the middle of that. And someone else was asking about Tesla, I thought earlier. Day trader Kiefer Kiefer. I'm late. Have you spoke on Qualcomm or Tesla? Well, there's your Tesla. I'd like to know what your plan is on it. Let me very quickly go to Qualcomm. Nick, did you have any news on Qualcomm? No. I'm just wondering if there was. He just asked about it. So
not that I remember.
yeah, I don't see any.
Qualcomm and ARM have been having this ongoing litigation for some time, and if ARM gets its way, Qualcomm's going to be required to destroy a number of processors that they had developed under a certain agreement. So I think that could be what he's referring to.
Okay. Well, he didn't mention anything. I was just wondering if there was any news. The daily chart here on Qualcomm, pretty interesting. Yeah, it looks like this actually wants to, kind of break this. This formation, at least 13. I know sometimes we disagree on some of these formations. I'd be curious to know what your opinion is. This actually looks bullish to me, right? We're trading back up to a high. We've got lots of green volume that's continued to expand day after day. I understand we're a little bit extended from these moving averages, but maybe a pop above this level here. We'll see if we get that. You agree? It sounds like it sounds bullish.
It does look bullish. Just remember that if the news that I'm referring to does hit the stock, it's not going to matter. But just if you Google Qualcomm ARM lawsuit, you'll get the scoop on what I'm referring to. That could be a negative catalyst for this company.
Really quickly, it's worth taking a look at ARM's chart. This also curling back up to a previous high. Okay, real quick. Cesar is saying still having logging issues to toss. No, in fact, I haven't heard this from anyone else. If anyone's having them, Cesar, reach out to their help support. That's unacceptable, frankly. It is middle of June. At this point, you should be able to get into your account. Wish you the best, my man. Do you have anything else, Nick? We got 30 seconds till we open here.
Uber and Lyft. Bloomberg is reporting U.S. lawmakers take on Uber and Lyft riders surveillance in new bill. Ride-hailing helps would need to pre-notify riders of dash cams. Riders would then have an opportunity to switch drivers. That's about it.
We open.
Okay, we open. Yeah, I like the dash cams personally. I think that's good. I feel better. I don't do anything bad in Uber or Lyft though, but that's just me.
So Kavl trying to pop out of the gate here, but getting a little bit of resistance up close to around 450.
Okay. Whoa.
Let's see here. Aimed down out the gate. LGVN a bit sideways, trying to retake VWAP. And BPTH, snore. Okay, let's go over to trade the pool here. As a reminder, if you need to get above that day trading threshold, trade the pool probably can help you with that. I mean, they definitely can. We had Gil in here answering questions from Andy yesterday. Real good stuff. Check them out if you need more dry powder or you need to get above that threshold. Here is Kavl. We'll see where we go here. Would love to hear what you folks are taking a look at. There's a secondary offering on Kavl, so be careful. It'll be a good dip for QCOM. GME with a giant green, then red, then green, then red candle out of the gate. Okay, well, let's take a look at that. That sounds par for the course for GME. This actually moving lower here on GME. Yeah, I think we already prefaced that this is going to probably end up being another one of these slower days. So, let's try to have some fun in other ways if we can't find trades. And let's not get ourselves stuck in anything.
Yeah, let's not get ourselves stuck in anything. By the way, BRRC here. This is Black Rifle Coffee Company, veteran-owned coffee company.
LGVN's trying to push through 370. There's a huge wall there, and we just had a pop.
Okay.
Let's see if it can eat that. And I have an upside target of 445 after it breaks through 390.
Oh, here we go. Couldn't actually break through that. I actually tried to buy that. Let's try some right here. We'll see if it works.
Yeah, GME looks like it's trying to go to its pre-market high of 30.35.
Here we go on LGVN. It's testing that spot again, 13.
There it is.
Let's see if we get through it here.
It's chomping at it. There it goes.
There it goes. We can get through this. Whoa. They just refilled it and slowed it down there. Let's see if we go through it one more time. Yeah, I was worried about this pullback here. Was worried about a pullback if it was unable to get through it. See if we got another shot at it, though.
Yeah.
I still
see
want to
what
get
else.
back over to KAVL for those of you that are watching it too, by the way.
Yeah, that one's kind of just trying to hold above VWAP.
There we go at LGVN, right to 375. I think I want a little bit more than this. Maybe I'm just getting greedy. See if we can get back up to that 375. Got about what 19,000 there. They're taking some of that there. They're taking it. We're going to pop through this. 380 is going to be the next spot if we do pop through this.
Yeah, and then the pre-market 390 high, and then after that, I think we're going to start getting a little bit better, price action. But let's see if we can do that. See if we can get up there.
Okay, right back to that 375 spot. Let's see if we can hit that.
Zap up out of the gate. I'm going to take a look at that. Oh yeah. Didn't this move yesterday?
I don't know if it was yesterday, but maybe it was. It was.
Yeah, it was.
It was recent. Zap was recent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they're refilling LGVN. I'm going to wait for this to set up. Yeah, that actually fell off there a little bit. Okay, I'm going to wait for this to set up again. I was really hoping we get a pop through 375. Might still go, but that actually felt like a pull was coming. There is 375. I'm going to try it again here. They just refilled it. Oh, that sucks. Let's see if we can go through here. 375. Second attempt. They put more stock there, and they took all of it almost down to but man, they are just loading up stuff. Watch this. If this pops here, I think this is really going to go. What do we have as the pre-market high here on LGVN? 391. Let's look up and see if we see any more on there. No, not really.
Zim, not a lot of volume, but it had a good move up out of the gate. Yeah, LGVN. I mean, if we can continue hold above VWAP, I still think there's a good shot that 390 will be a big breakout level.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm actually almost thinking about adding a little bit here beneath it, but I kind of want to just get some green on the screen here. I basically just sold flat on that first trade. I'd like to at least get some. There we go. Let's go up to 380. Is that going to roll off? I'm just going to take this right here. And now we're at least 1 for 1. Well, I guess technically we're 2 for 2, but we actually have some gains to speak of there. So we'll see if this sets up again here. At least we started off all right. BRCC really kind of came back in.
Thanks, Jonathan.
I'll keep checking on LGVN. I still also want to go take a look at KAVL. Is this going to go crazy again?
If KAVL starts to show some weakness, I'd like to see some support around 315. And
currently at 380, just beneath the VWAP here, KAVL.
Yeah, 315 is where I'd like to see some support. And if we get that, we stay around there, that we might see some more upside and higher prints.
Long Jevon, if this gets pulled back to the VWAP, I would feel great about it. Felt a little antsy on trying to wait for this 390. Hopefully,
sorry to interrupt you. AIM just getting a little bit of volume.
That's AIMD, right?
Mm-hmm. Looks like it's starting to curl a bit. Bpth not looking great.
What happened to POW today?
Oh, they had earnings yesterday.
Oh, yikes. That was doing so well, too. I didn't even go through that one. Bummer. That is the biggest drag on my swing account here today. Is this pullback.
They didn't have bad earnings. They didn't have great earnings. Year over year, they had lower EPS and revenue, but they still beat the estimates. So it's like it's just not the greatest, but it's not the worst either.
Yeah, bummer.
And they're still working through their production issues. They want to get their capacity up. So and ammo sales. I'm sorry, not ammo sales, but ammo prices have come down. So there's that too.
So here's the pullback on LGVN. This is exactly what I was trying to avoid earlier. I'll take some here. I know this just recently touched the VWAP. We'll take a little bit here and see if we get a bounce. To 13's point, maybe we do still get a move through that 390 area on LGVN. Try again here. This is why I was selling out of that with such a quick trigger finger. I felt like this pull's coming. Here we go. Let's see if we hold the VWAP here, LGVN. You guys are talking, we're slowly grinding up there. That's what I like to see. Let's take a look here at GME. That going for the highs here. Great on GME. I know Andy was doing a diamond hands here. Andy was unable to join us today, but tune in next week because we are going to have Andy back next week. We'll ask him about his GME trade here. This actually going for the pre-market high. Let's see if this ends up getting taken out. 30.28 is the high intraday print. I've got 30.38 as the pre-market. Sorry about that. 13. What was that?
No, it looks like it could get that pre-market high, and there's an after-hours high too. I have pre-market at 30.35 and the after-hours 30.85. After that, it's going to be whatever the previous level was, or the previous high was. I think from the days before. I guess 33.70 would be the next level. We're getting attention or wanting our attention directed towards Zap. That one had some upward movement here up to 241.
Okay, watching LGVN came back into its VWAP here.
At 10 a.m., guys, we're going to be getting consumer sentiment and some inflation data, so that could move markets. 3.3 is what we're expecting from the Michigan consumer. So
okay.
We'll watch that.
Daniel's asking if AMC is going to follow GME. Very, very possible. Although one of the things that I will say is that recently we've seen GME really kind of outperforming, clearly performing better than AMC. So it could go. I don't think it's a guarantee based on what's going on here. Let's check in on Kavl. Kavl's trying to bounce off this. Yeah. Does anyone have a position here on Kavl?
Looks like it looks kind of interesting. It's holding above VWAP.
Yeah, it sure does.
Not 100% sure how much.
If I can get filled, we'll see. Might be running away from me on this.
It's whipping around too.
Yeah, it sure is. That's why I'm trying to use limit orders instead of just going in market. We'll see if I get filled.
That'd be great if it can bust up through 469. Looks like it's had about 2 visits up there today so far.
LGVN struggling a little bit here. Let's see if we can get rolling. Otherwise, we might just have to cancel flat here.
I think it looks like it might be getting going here.
Which one? Kavl?
Kavl. Sorry. Yeah, I'm looking at the opposite one.
All good. Yep. Break beneath the VWAP here. Where was that?
Aimed now under $1. Zap trying to hold above. I mean, we're not that close to VWAP, but it looks like it's headed that direction. So we'll want to see VWAP hold if we get some more weakness in ZAPP.
Here is Kavl. That is absolutely pushing away from my order. I'm actually going to pull that order just so I don't get filled on a knife. 4 was a really good entry there. It's just a tad too slow on it. Let's go back. What are you looking at?
There, Kavl. It just put in some. It broke the pre-market high, and now it's coming back in a little bit. I still have 5. Around 527 is the next upside target here, but it needs to meaningfully get through this that pre-market high, and it just went up there and and came back in a little bit. So we'll see if it can continue pushing up.
Let's see if this breaks. Oh there my! This might get wild now. This might get wild now.
Yeah. And it looks like.
Remember, this went to 10 the last time it got super crazy.
Yeah, how long ago was that? That was a while, wasn't it? Let's see. That was back in. That was back in April. Okay. Yeah, so that let's say call it, but somewhere between 525, 530. That there should be some sort of a meaningful breakout in that area there, and we'll see it go up into the 6, possibly. I guess it's halted now.
Kavl's halted to the upside.
Yes,
yep, there it is. So watch this one to get crazy here. And kind of bummed I missed that little position on it.
STFU, you are a wild man. We'll look at GME.
Yeah, here let me pull that up. Sorry, I'm trying to do a whole bunch of things here. I only got one chart. GME's still up at that top area.
So broke through that pre-market 30.35 level. Stopped at 30.43. I'm still looking for the after hours from yesterday, which was at 30.85. That was the high from then. So we'll see if it can get up there. Should have the potential to do it. RSI is a little bit high on these smaller time frames.
LGVN, this is actually doing a pretty decent job. Let me see if I can. Well, I got to figure out stop on that.
Yep. Need to just get a little bit more volume expansion here. We can push through and get above 390. I think that's still the big level to get over right now.
These are just drawings. There's a way.
Hey, great job, Line Atlas, on your IW input.
Sorry, I'm just looking through something here real quick.
Bpth going to VWAP. I'll take a look at that. Yeah, just barely touched and came back in. Looks like VWAP's going to be the big level to get over for the moment right now in Bpth. But volume needs to be a lot better than this. So looking to see if LGVN is going to end up breaking through. Looks like it has a wall there at between 365 and 370. GME still trying to push up.
LGVN trying to push up.
I said
there we go.
GME is, but yes, LGVN is too as well. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, there it is. Through the 365 now through the 370. Let's take out 390. Come on now.
Don't doubt me. Don't doubt me. Smoke Tuna. Good morning. Who is this fake 13?
I take my hat off and it's all who is this guy?
Wheezy, it is halted at the moment.
There.
It is halted. Oh, big nasty pull on LGVN, folks. Nasty pull on that.
And this dip gets bought probably.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking here. I'm thinking I might add.
Oh, there's also a nasty knife with zap. People getting zapped and zapped.
LGVN.
AIM trying to get support from the 65 EMA on the 5-minute. I don't know what else it's getting support from down there. Maybe some smaller EMAs.
Out LGVN here. We'll see if this settles. Let's see if LGVN settles here. Okay. What else do you folks have here? Let's take a look around. We'll start with GME here. Still holding near the highs. Kavl still halted. We'll see what happens when that opens.
Yep. You guys don't know the shareholder meeting has been rescheduled until Monday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. So many dates have been chosen. Oh, and Monday is National Take Your Cat to Work Day.
So wait, GME. So the shareholder meeting has been rescheduled for Take Your Cat to Work Day. Did Roaring Kitty have anything to do with that?
I don't know. I didn't even discover that. Our Zunaid discovered that Monday was National Take Your Cat to Work Day on the same day that GME has rescheduled its meeting, but it has been rescheduled at least 3 or 4 times. It was supposed to be today at 4:30, then they changed to 12:30, and then they pushed it to Monday at 12:30.
Okay, so they're shifting that around here. By the way, GME going here. STFU's all over it.
How funny would that be if Roaring Kitty shows up at GME headquarters for Bring Your Cat to Work Day?
STFU, this is exactly what I said this morning. I said, that's hilarious because my cat comes to work every day. I think he's taking a nap right now, though, thankfully. Kavl's still halted, by the way. We are still waiting for that to open, by the way. I feel like I just said, by the way too many times. I'm sorry.
It sounded like it, by the way.
Take that.
We're having fun.
Dude. Yeah, we are. It's Friday. I'm glad to have you back, 13. I know you probably enjoyed your vacation and it was well earned, but I'm glad that you're back.
I'm glad to be back. You guys are fun. Everybody in the chat is too.
I will say, definitely talked to 13 while he was on vacation. I can confirm it sounds like he missed us.
All right, Kavl's open.
Let me bring that up. Here, is it pulling? Nope.
Nope.
Not yet.
Went up to 510. Looks like it's okay. Now it's through that 525 to 530 level. Got up to as high as 533.
Yeah, Kavl, this is going to continue to move here.
Could be an all-day runner. On Jevon, man, that it does not like 390.
No, that was a big time rejection. Look, I'm glad we stopped out of that one. Yeah. I'm glad we stopped out of that one.
Oh my gosh, Kavl now at 6, and oh wow, that's just getting some crazy movement there.
Ooh, yeah, it sure Kavl is. I don't want to chase this. That's my big thing. Broadcom continuing to trade up into that split. I think they also got a re-rating, a price target re-rating this morning.
Remind me, when do they perform that split?
Let me pull that up here real quick. I'll get you the exact day. Effective July 15th. So that's going to be middle of next month, a month away from today. And then as far as this morning, no, we didn't get any re-ratings there on Broadcom. We did yesterday. TD Cowen went to 1750 on the price target yesterday. Okay. Kavl's still looking good here above 6. Congrats, by the way, to anyone that had Kavl. Jay Rice, are you out there today? I don't think I've seen you here yet today. Wondering if you're out there.
Well, thank you, Mr. Kania. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I appreciate it.
Why didn't you try the first name? Abtalam. Like, no,
I don't want to mess that one up.
I don't want to butcher someone's name. Look, that's actually something I think about that all the time. I think back sometimes and I'm like, how many nice people's names did I screw up? So I try not to do that. Always correct me if I get it wrong, by the way, out there, folks. Kavl continuing to rip here. This thing looking awesome. Smoke Tuna, are you in this one? I feel like this is a Smoke Tuna play. This play's got Smoke Tuna written all over it. Ooh, LGVN. Do we think we get a bounce here off the bottom? Looks like we already did a little bit. 323, that low print. We got a 10-cent bounce here so far. Look at that.
It's possible. I'd like to see, at the very least, I'd like to see 285 hold up.
Okay. Smoke Tuna earlier had said 3 support there. Jane saying, at my age, you don't remember names. Jane, it's really funny about this, that a lot of times on the weekend, if my golf partner is not available, I'll go out solo and I get paired with random people and we introduce ourselves. And I just straight up tell people now, I'm like, look, I'm not good with names. By the 6th hole, I might have forgot what your name is. And I'm sorry about that. And my big pro tip, hey, nice shot, big guy. Something like that. You don't have to remember names. Don't feel bad. I do the same thing.
Kavl suspended again, or halted, up to 684. I have 750 next, and then 885, and then 11.
Okay.
We were talking about ARM earlier. ARM is actually higher this morning after the company will actually join the NASDAQ 100 index starting on June 24th.
Remember on ARM too, let me see. I'll bring this up on a easier to see chart here. We actually talked about ARM earlier today. Here you go. This is one of the things to take a look at here, right? We are right back up to this double top. This was from this impulse move back in February, middle of February. We might take this out here on ARM.
That's crazy. LGVN still kind of holding up here. I think you might be right about getting that reversal. Just have to see what happens here in the next several minutes or so.
Ryan, ticker KAVL, Kavl Brands is up 402%.
Yes, that's the one we've been trading here.
Yep.
We called it. Sorry, Nick. We called it Henry Kavl because 13.
It's taken off like Superman
the last time. Yeah, it was a good nickname.
Continues to move higher. I haven't seen anything like this in a while.
Nope.
52-week high, believe it or not, is $20.27. $20.27.
No, this is not the one that was okay. No, that's LGBN. That's the one that had the $15 price target or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. LGBN has a 1510. They called it a price valuation from Zacks.
Bpth looks like it's trying to reclaim its VWAP. The volume is not great though, but just keep an eye on this one in case it starts to expand.
This LGVN bounce, Smoke Tuna, that was a really decent call. I know it didn't go down exactly to 3, but it did find some support there. Zap continuing to push to the highs here. Still got an eye on Kavl in a different screen. GM
Purgatory Park, love to hear it. Sorry.
All good. GME came in off that level. NVIDIA starting to rip now. Richard, good call here. You had me looking at this.
And Zap too. Zap pushed up. Here's the thing with Zap. I mean, I'm a little worried about this one. It seems like in the same candle, it's going to either make or break you. And if not the candle you're in, the next one might. But, you know, if you can capture the trades in this one, keep it going. What else do we got going on? What's the SPY looking like right now?
Is the U.S. Open on TV today, guys?
I don't know.
What channel? Can't seem to find it. Let me know if you guys find that.
I'll text my dad, even though he's in the other room. He's literally watching it.
That's awesome. We're gonna have Nick and his dad breaking news here. I'm all for that.
He's been watching it since it started this morning at like 6:30.
Yeah, I know. I was up too. I was up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, man, I feel good. I like want to get out of bed, and I didn't turn it on. I didn't see it on USA though. NBC at 1. Okay. It's on Peacock until 1 p.m. That's why I couldn't find it. Thank you guys. I love our chat is just, I mean, Nick, you're awesome too. And so is your dad, obviously, but like our chat is really awesome. Like
Peacock, that seems to be, that's what they're doing. Even for football games, it seems like Peacock is going to be part of the winners this year to watch the game on Peacock first.
This is the way things are going. And you know what else? So I'll give you another example of why I would say that. You're right there on the Peacock thing. The Chicago Cubs play the St. Louis Cardinals this weekend. And for those of you that don't like baseball, all you need to know about this is that the Cubs-Cardinals rivalry is a very, very strong baseball rivalry. It's been going on for a long time. One of the games is on Roku TV. Now, it's free on Roku, so you don't have to have a subscription, but you need to know how to find Roku. And a lot of older folks that really love baseball, they're not going to be able to do this. This is just the way things are going, Nick. Things are going more towards streaming. And like I said, what becomes appealing are bundles that have all of these services, though I don't have to piecemeal. At least that's my own personal opinion.
STFU giving us the warning on Kavl getting unhalted, and there it is.
On what? Sorry, Kavl?
Kavl, yeah, got up to 707. Now coming in, testing some support levels that we recently broke through on its way up.
Spread kind of wild here. Jay Harris asking if Adobe is going to go higher. Let's take a look at that. We took a look at the move that it had here earlier. It's actually looking like it's kind of struggling with that high print. One of the things that I'd want to see here, let me back out a little bit, Jay. One of the things I'd want to see here is I really want to see this volume pick up. You can kind of see that we're just really just trading in a very tight range. Volume is kind of drying up. The big move has kind of already happened. When we looked at this here, let me go back to a bigger chart, because when we looked at this earlier, ADBE, we were right at a level that was pretty important, right? This right here was former support that is now resistance. So in order for this to keep going, Jay, we're going to have to get above 528. And remember, one of the things that we're looking for is a potential gap fill up to 570. We've got 544 as a level in between, and then 13 also had us take a look at the weekly, 538. And in fact, look at this, 13. We almost tapped that exactly. So there you go. These are going to be two of those levels that it's going to need to get over to go higher. Can it? Yeah, but it hasn't shown it yet, right? We really haven't been able to take out any of those highs just yet.
Kavl got up to 8, coming 804 actually, and came back in a little bit, trying to reclaim that 750. Looks like it's about to attempt that again.
Iron, I'll go over to Kavl here in a second. Iron, remember, Smoke Tuna told us about this. It runs every day out of the open. It did trade up a little bit out of the open, but it's reversing. Maybe it's got a bigger move coming here. Here is KAVL. My God, this thing could do 10.
Yeah. Just not sure about how soon or slow that's going to be.
Saro, your penny stock. Yeah, Jay Harris, happy Father's Day. I am actually not a father. Oh, I guess I'm an animal father. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, especially you, 13.
Thank you. Appreciate that, guys.
GME back to VWAP here, maybe setting up for a potential day trade long on GME.
And Kavl looking around.
Big pull on Kavl. Big pull. Big knife. Let's get this back into 485. That'd be awesome. A nice little VWAP pull here and hold. Volume looks really good, so I could absolutely see this taking off again. Hi, Ryan. Sandra's shop is still going strong. So you're not talking about a place of business. You're talking about ticker SHOP. And I know that because you capitalized it, which is why we do that. Awesome stuff there. Indeed, this is continuing to move here. We are probably going to gap fill, aren't we? 75. You know what? What are the calls for this? You guys got me into this now. These calls are going to be inflated because it's going, though, 75.
Oh, Smoke Tuna saying, on MD. That's one that I think we touched on briefly this morning.
Yeah, we did. Let me pull it up here. I'm still looking. Maybe we can get some calls to finish off this gap fill here on Shop. I like that. Here is ONMD busted above its VWAP and is holding there.
Some news came out after the open. All right. So what's happening here, Kavl? Are you going to reclaim or not? Looks like, looks like it's trying to get back up here. Trying to get recapture this the 7 handle. Still
13.
Down here.
When you see sticks like this, do you like trying to play like just a bounce within the same candle, or do you like to get several candles to print out and kind of show you where the level's at?
For bounces, I really like when I see them coming towards VWAP or an EMA, because typically what you'll get is a very, very quick short-term bounce after touching it. And if you have a bracket order, like an order cancels order setup, you can capture that pretty quickly. Those are fun little bounces. The thing is that for this one that I'm looking at right now, it's not coming down to VWAP. It's not breaking down to lower levels. So it looks to me like there's some strength coming in, especially see if you look at the 5-minute candle that we just closed. It came down beneath the 620 level where I have a horizontal line, and it closed above that. That can often be a more of a bullish signal for me that we could be going higher. Now, if we don't, then I'd be looking at the next level down, which is the 525 to 530, and I also have VWAP in that area, so that could be a much better setup to get a quick bounce in there. You could for this one, you could play it like maybe 10.
Okay, KAVL might be coming back into that VWAP there.
Yeah, and it could be, and if it does, then that would be, I think, a good reverse spot, because we've seen VWAP trades happen all the time.
Yeah,
but I like the ones that the quicker they move down to the EMAs, the better of a chance you have for a bounce when they reach that. Sorry to interrupt here, Nick. Do you have the Michigan consumer sentiment data handy? I've got it right here.
Yes, we have Michigan consumer sentiment for June came in at 65.6 versus the 72.1 estimate. Consumer expectations for June, 67.6 versus 70 was the estimate, so well below expectations. And inflation data 1 year came in at 3.3. Estimate was for 3.3 previously. Estimate was for actually 3.2 because that's actually a tick up a tenth. And then 5-year inflation came in at 3.1 versus 3% previously. Estimate was for 3%. So just a tick up a tenth on 1 year and 5 year.
Okay. DJF saying the market not liking those numbers here. Let's take a look at the SPY and see what we're doing on that. Yep. SPY sold through its VWAP. Boy, that LGVN bounce didn't work either.
LGVN.
Yeah, let me go back there. Here, SPY actually trying to recover after that print. We'll see if that works. LGVN, this one did not, just straight up rejected there. Good call, Smoke Tuna. VWAP bounce will fail. What told you that? My goodness, that was a good call. Good Lord. This actually might be going, I'm going to have to take an L on this. Holy shit. That is not what I had hoped there. We'll hang in here real quick. Let me know what you were seeing there, though, Tuna. That was a really, really good call.
Looks like Zap is still kind of holding up here, and if we, in a matter of 5 to 10 minutes or so, we could see this move higher up through the 262 level that I have here. We need a little bit more volume expansion, but we are about to get EMA across VWAP, so that can sometimes lift it higher. So that's what we're looking for.
KAVL kind of slowed down here, might be curling.
Yeah, the consumer cannot stop spending. They'll just keep borrowing and borrowing and borrowing.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly right. LGVN coming back up to 350. Hopefully it can get there. We'll see what it does at 350. Some size there.
Yeah. And then 355 and 360. Every 5 cents, there always seems to be a large number of sell orders. Bpth still trying to push through VWAP. It's been working on that for the past 15 minutes.
Let's take a look at that.
Kavl might be recovering here too.
SPY low a day, indeed. So that's Fed unfriendly, right? That's what's having the market move down here. That consumer sentiment number, which is weak. Okay. Here is BPTH. ONMD getting multiple mentions here. That continuing to move higher here. Another good one.
Yep, right up to the 152 level that I have here. You see a breakout of that one. Sorry, what?
No, nothing. I was just stretching. I just
Kavl,
was just too loud about it.
Kavl back above 6. Trying to recover. LGBN also looking like it's trying to recover, but I have a suspicion that it might get smacked at VWAP.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm waiting for here. I've got VWAP at 354. If we take out this 350 size, I'm going to be out on this one because this just kind of reversed on me. But we were patient with it. And it's actually consolidating here. Tuna, when I asked about the call there, he said it just needs to consolidate maybe an hour. It's actually doing that at the moment. So we'll see if it hangs in here, if it really kind of yanks. XXII, this penny stock trading up here. This is related to Kavl, right? You were talking about that being a nicotine play. There you go. So that's what's going on with this one. GVN rolling over here. Bummer, man. Hate day trading. Don't like it. Would rather swing trade.
I mean, I still think
and
that
how too. This is not a good reaction to these earnings. I'm going to have to reassess this.
LGVN, as long as we're holding above 325, I think there's still possibility of upside.
Yeah, I just mistimed it. I just mistimed it. That's all.
Still like
KAVL actually kind of consolidating. This actually looks like maybe it takes off again here. Just as I said, that started to crack a little bit. Let's take a look at that one here. See if we get a setup. Stay focused. Are you trading today? I know it's been kind of a light week and it's Friday, so I would imagine you're probably hands off today. Just wondering what you're seeing out there. Shop, by the way, after that initial mention here, pull back to the VWAP or trying to. That would be pretty good. That 75 gap fill calls for July. Only 66 cents. I feel like that's not a bad idea. Didn't take it myself, though. Excuse me. Shop continuing to come back into the VWAP. Yeah, this LGVN, that doesn't look any good at all. That was just a bad trade. Straight up bad. Straight up bad. Okay.
I'm still liking, and I've been on this for since before my vacation. But CSCO, I still like that at 40 at some point here. It seems like because the RSI is getting pretty low, we might get a bounce somewhere in the 44 handle. But I don't think I don't think we're going to see a meaningful recovery above 46 or a recovery at all. If it tries to come back up and break through 46, I think it's going to get rejected, and I'll end up getting my wish of $40.
Yeah, this thing looks like it's hunting for a bottom on that daily. Stay focused, saying Ryan, getting the engine tuned up for next week. Small trades, CELH short. That's a Celsius short, Google long. Celsius, didn't we talked about this having cancer news or something? Let me pull it up here. I have such a tough time remembering all this stuff and keeping it straight. Go ahead, Nick.
We have a short report on ticker ALTM, Arcadium Lithium. Hunterbrook actually issues a short report literally 2 minutes ago.
Hunterbrook,
yes.
Okay, not familiar with that one. Here you go. ATLM. This is moving lower on that.
ARM just, if you look at a daily chart in ARM, this just had an absolutely killer breakout of a falling wedge.
Here, I can get you a bigger daily chart. I'm sorry, man. The chart on Trade the Pool here, the daily chart's just too hard to see any of these formations. Let me bring up that chart. You said it was an ARM daily?
Yeah, I drew some a while back before this breakout occurred. I drew some lines to see if we were going to get that breakout or not. Because if you look at from the February and March highs and just draw a line all the way through the price action, you can also get the bottom trend line from the same February and
so
April.
You were just drawing a horizontal line right through this area right here?
No, a trend line from the top on February 12th through the top of March 26th. Keep going all the way through the price action.
Yeah. I'm just making sure I had the right date. Sorry.
Yep. And look at that. Look at that breakout there.
Yep.
Ta-da. Zim.
Yep.
Zim is moving
No
up.
way. Again?
1905
This is one of this show's favorite stocks, I feel like, Zim.
Yeah, and Lion Atlas, lithium stocks, I think they're all kind of cheap right now because of the byproduct, the wastewater news that we can get lithium from. What was that from?
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, from what kind of mining was it? Do you recall, or what was the wastewater that was from?
Wasn't it from fracking, or no? Am I wrong on that?
It might be, but the point was that wastewater is going to have a new value if you're going to be able to extract lithium from it and other rare earth minerals. So that could be another reason why we're seeing all those lithium stocks down. It's because it's not going to be expensive, or I guess the companies that already have lithium operations are now kind of like on the wrong side of the lithium trade now, because they have so much leverage in getting that extracted from the ground, where now it's wastewater that we're just getting it from. So it's like, just buy the byproduct from Pennsylvania now, I guess, right? That's the thought, isn't it?
Yeah, I wish I had that article handy here, 13. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I just don't have it in front of me. That's got all of the stats in it that you were just mentioning. Purgatory Park saying KAVL locates for shorts were absent for me.
Yes, Jay Diamond, that's right. I've been seeing more about salt batteries too. Yeah. So lithium might not be the mineral we use anymore.
Well, I tell you what, if it was salt, we got plenty of that.
In more ways than one.
No, yeah, I meant it in the serious way. Although when you started laughing, I thought about other ways that could be applied.
EVs are getting salty now. Well, it looks like Kavl's trying to come off of VWAP. How's Bitcoin doing today? Not great. Not great. Kind of just going lower, but still consolidating after getting up into the 72,000 handle. Sorry, getting some support from a 65 EMA on the daily. So if we don't move up from here, then it looks like the next level I'd be looking for would be, what is it, 62,000?
Is this Zap?
No, this is Bitcoin.
Oh, Bitcoin. I'm sorry.
No worries. No worries. I'm just trying to see what if we can, identify any potential trades in the Bitcoin names, because I've been watching, these Bitcoin names move just moments after the Bitcoin moves. It's been not very difficult trading these Bitcoin names if you just watch what Bitcoin does.
Costco after its little sell-off right to the highs. Tesla. Let's take a look at Tesla here. This is getting ripped up. Tesla moving to the lows here. Ford sell-off, Tuna? Oh, indeed.
What was their news, if any? I don't see anything.
I'm going to probably get stopped on this LGVN disaster. Man, oh man, I chased, I think, a little too much there on that move back up to the View app. See if it breaks this area here.
Well, seems like there's a bunch of wind getting taken out of the market here.
Indeed. Indeed. Is there a way I can do a stop on this?
See if I can find some bigger names that are doing better. How's Tesla doing today? What's up with Tesla?
Tesla's rolling over to the lows.
Well, it is beneath 180 now. I wonder if we if it recovers later on in the day to close above it. That's a thing I'd be interested to see actually today with Tesla, if it can get back above 180 and close above it. I think that might slow the downside if it do that. It actually might end up reversing it. But let's see, 180. That's been a big level for a while. Okay, let's see what I can find here with some of these bigger names. Aside from them just all being kind of down today. Guess I'll take a look at TSN because we were talking about that one yesterday.
Yeah, we sure were. I've got some stuff there for you. I'm not sure if TSN is ready yet, but if you have a long-term view, I guess that's one thing.
Well, I guess one long-term view is to solve their problem with alcoholism. Another thing is that they are on their 200-day SMA and trying to hold above that. So that could be, if we get some multiple closes above that, and we also have a low RSI, this seems like a really good spot, honestly, to reverse. Not saying that it will, but the technical setup here looks pretty dang good. It's oversold, hitting a very key SMA, and we've lost, let's see here. Since the beginning of this down move and on May 24th, I'll just start measuring from there. We've lost 11.5%. So I think we could see a bounce in TSN. It's quite possible.
I think that you're probably right on that, by the way. At least from my initial discussion here.
You options players, that might actually be something you could take a look at here. There could be something good in there for that.
CNSP, wow, big pop here on CNSP.
H100 is old hat, the new kid on the block.
NVIDIA 131 plus. Stay focused. When is this thing going to turn around?
And who? Jonathan Cooper, who makes the GB200? Is that still NVIDIA? Sorry for not knowing. Wow. There are a lot of names down today. That's incredible. Google is up. Tyson is slightly up. And Nintendo is up. That's the only other ones that are up in my long-term account. So
yeah, I was going to say things started off all right here, but a lot of stuff really kind of turned around here. Powell leading the way to the downside.
I think that's just another opportunity, but that's me though. It's going to get oversold. Well, what do we do here on Jevon? Turning around.
Okay. Trying. We'll see. Like I said, if I can just get this back and get bailed out here, I will. Not even at this point, not even really looking for a huge move above VWAP. Size has been moved down here to 345. Lynn, I gotta be honest with you. These Stanley Cup and NBA finals have been some of the worst we have watched in, I can't even remember. I mean, both of the series are 3-0. There's just no excitement in them at all. Really, really disappointed with both series after relatively good playoffs for both.
Oh, buyers coming in with GME now? Is it time to rise and shine with them?
Well, that's after a big night. This might just be a regression back to the mean. Big expanding volume to the sell side, too, that drove us down here. Rangers Panthers was the real cup. Sure seems like that, dude. Sure seems like that.
Here, may the Oilers bounce. I hope that worked out for you then, Randy.
Third time. Hey, look, I like that you're at least trying something. You're at least out here trying.
Looks like Kavl is trying to recover.
GME, that bounce was fairly short-lived here. Same with the LGVN bounce. Boy, oh boy, man. What a nightmare.
I'd say if it goes to 325, that we'll probably end up seeing under 3.
Yeah, I mean, if it breaks the bottom of this sideways area, I'm going to be out. I lost my ability to place the trades on the chart, and I'm not sure why that happened.
Kavl rising. See if we can keep on going. Bpth.
Let me bring Kavl up. That seems to be giving us the most action for the day.
Yeah, and Palantir getting a little bit of a recovery as well after.
Ooh, we haven't even looked at Palantir yet, or I haven't today.
Yeah, it had a little weakness in the pre-market, sold off out of the gate, and then bought right back up. And now we're climbing still, trying to get through the after-hours consolidation. Oh, Kavl's pushing up into 6 now. There we go. How high can it go? It looks like there's some bit of size there. 620. Let's see if we can break through that. That'd be pretty cool. And LGBN is still consolidating. As long as as long as it consolidates.
Yeah, always a chance. And I mean, really, one quick pop just to get back above the entry. Well, it's all it needs. Oh yeah. Man, sorry, I'm yawning. And yes, this bounce was what I was hoping with LGVN, by the way. Just didn't get it. We're getting it on Kavl.
Until they give us a knife like this.
Hey, Carmen, appreciate this. Ryan, been accumulating QBTS for the swing. Hoping today is the beginning of the retracement. I appreciate this. I'm definitely interested in your swing positions, folks. So here you go. You've been accumulating this. Okay, decent. Come on, LGVN. Just do it this time. Stop teasing and just do it. Get above that 345 and pop. Just be done with this trade and move on.
Yeah, I think it's. I think VWAP's probably going to end up being the play. But if that volume really comes in when it gets up there, we could see it go higher.
Remember yesterday, wait for the second bounce of VWAP. Exactly, Jonathan. In this case, the second attempt. Maybe we'll be stronger on that second attempt through. But like 13 was saying earlier, as long as this consolidates and doesn't break down, it's not the end of the world. It's just frustrating and boring because my entry was poor.
I hope I'm not wrong on this, but it looks like GME is just consolidating to go lower. I think it needs to has to reclaim 29, and it's not looking like it's going to at the moment.
Stay focused saying 13. What's your thoughts on NVTS? Could be a nice swing.
I'll take a look. Give me a tick. Okay. So so I like, hold on, is Wisdom out there?
I haven't seen him yet today.
Okay, so the 420 level looks interesting. No, seriously.
I can't help but laugh at it.
Seriously, because the 50-day SMA is right there at 420. We're starting to get the 20-day SMA to curl up, and it's going to end up crossing the 50-day SMA, which is a silver cross. That's a bullish technical indicator. And if you draw a line at 420, you can see that has been a level that has seen significant price action. It's been both support and resistance multiple times. So I like 420. If we get down there, I think that would be that looks like it's a really good spot to start a position in NVTS if you're bullish on this stock. Now, if I look back further, I mean, this is it has been lower before, but I'm not necessarily sure that we're going to see it go lower. What is this? I know this is semiconductors, but what exactly is where are they located?
Kavl, by the way, breaking out of its formation, trying to go higher. 650 might be your next spot on KAVL.
NBTS is a dog till next year, says Carmen. The majority of the revenue is generated from China. Okay. It also has some short interest here. Let me take a look at this. That is a 17.29% short interest with 10.43 days to cover. So you could see an NBTS squeeze at some point. Not sure when. But like I said, I think 420, it looks like a pretty good level if you're going to be trading this and you want to go long. That seems like that's the next good solid support level. That's my take on it. What do you think?
Jay's Life ADI analog devices. Let me look at a little bit bigger chart here.
All right, I'm gonna go look and see what Kavl's doing. Kavl back above 6, going trying to push up higher.
So
what's that? Go ahead.
Go ahead. I thought you were done after higher, and you're not. Go ahead.
Nope, I'm done after higher. I want to hear what you have to say.
I don't have much to say. I was just kind of addressing Jay here. Jay was saying ADI, or excuse me, Jay's Life, saying ADI looks like a nice swing trade. Honestly, this is one of the islands that you folks hear me talking about all of the time. We actually already got a pullback to the bottom end of the island here, and we bounced. Now it looks like it's coming back here. Jay, if this holds 228, which is only 2 points lower than where we're at, I'm in complete agreement with you. I think this is a great potential swing here. We'll see if we get that, though. ADI. I appreciate you mentioning this one. This was not on my radar. Let me add this to my note sheet real quick. Appreciate you,
Carmen, with more information on NVTS. They said in their last year was a big disappointment, and they will not see growth until next year. So that kind of also makes the 420 level I was talking about have a big question mark next to it. But like I said, I think from a technical aspect, 420 looks like a good spot. But if you're saying it goes under 4, then if you're going to start a position at 420, maybe just stay light on it. And if it goes under 4, then you could average into it. But yeah, just based on what I was seeing, 420 looks like a pretty good support level. Kavl.
Yeah, real quick here, Lynn. I deal with this too, by the way. I don't know if there's a way to change this. Help Lynn and Randy out here, folks. Does anyone know of a way to minimize YouTube so that you can close the app but still have the video play? I struggle with this. When I try to listen to music that's not on Spotify that is on YouTube, I have to actually watch the video for that to play here. LGVN, let's see if I can get bailed out here. Really needs 345 is going to be the spot. But let Lynn and Randy know if there's a way to do that. I am not familiar with that.
Like on a phone?
Yeah, mobile device only. How can you minimize YouTube so that the video is still playing in the background? Is there a way to do that? Nick, do you know?
If you have an iPhone, once I go to YouTube.
Here we go.
Depends on what kind of phone you have. If you have an iPhone, what I do is when I go to YouTube, I just swipe up, and then my tab YouTube will still be open in a box.
Here's the answer. Has nothing to do with the iPhone. Has to do with premium. If you buy premium, you can do this. If you do not buy premium, you cannot do this.
I don't have premium.
Okay. I guess everyone's wrong.
It all depends.
Yeah.
You know?
See, like here. I'll try this. I'll just try this right just to make sure I'm not stupid. I just want to make sure. Here, let's go here. Create effortless power by slowing down your golf swing. This is a very PC video that we can play here. Shouldn't offend anybody. So if I have the app open, skip that. Okay.
I think you're getting saved, Ryan.
Awesome. So you're saying, so I've got the video playing. So what do I do now in order to do this? You guys, you were saying you swiped down, Nick. How did you do it?
I just swipe up because on mine, I don't have like any buttons on mine. I just swipe up.
Yeah, see, that's how you rotate the screen on Android. Interesting.
You're at live
Maybe
technical support with Ryan and 13 and Nick.
Yeah, no, sorry about that. This is Lynn brought up this
for tech support. I don't know. I feel like when someone asks for tech support, I just
Do you know, Zunaid? Do you know how to?
I have no idea what you're
By the way, here we are, 350 on LGVM. Let's see what happens right here. Okay. Let's see if they take this. Finally, we've been waiting. Smoke Tuna has been telling me to cut this for the last hour. And look, bang, right through. Right through.
Stay patient or you'll be one.
Stay patient or you'll be one. I'm out.
Stay patient or you'll
Get
be
out
one.
of here with that.
Oh,
Let's
damn.
go. I'm fired up now. God.
That's a great line.
Oh, you're like,
wait, Zunaid, don't worry. 13 and I got you. 13, I forgot. I didn't even tell you this. Yeah, so 13 and I are starting a financial t-shirt business. We will get you one. We do expect you to wear it on the stream, though. We're going to try and promote
100%.
that.
100%.
Okay, sweet.
Are you kidding? Yes. Stay patient or you'll be one. Man,
I'm telling you, dude.
I love it. That is
courtesy
awesome.
of happy hour.
That's
a happy hour baby right there.
That's incredible. Well, I just called to, for fun. There's no big plan.
But I love this, Bosh. Hang on one second, Zunaid. I like the tech comedy, but still rooting for the Wheel of Fortune. So let's break some news here. And now that Zunaid from the show's team is here, let's actually talk about this. Zunaid, yesterday, I don't know, I think you were tied up, right? I think you had some previous obligations yesterday. We had an amazing stream yesterday. Brian Shannon was kind enough to donate some of his time here and also then kind enough to allow us to give away some of his books.
I was going to say, that's the VWAP one, right?
Yeah.
Anchor VWAP? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then we were doing so good here that Gil from Trade the Pool, our stream sponsor, decided to give away a couple of buying power accounts. Now, Alyssa had an absolutely crispy suggestion. Maybe we should do some type of merch giveaways on Friday, make it feel more like the end of the week party thing. So I want to just, you know me, Zunaid, I want to just come out here and be like, yeah, let's give that shit away. That sounds great. But I want to make sure I'm not encroaching on any budget or anything else that anyone else has planned for. So I just wanted to kind of get that out into the ether. I guess I just did it publicly here.
I think we can. What is it, summertime? So hoodies wouldn't be the best. But yeah, I think we can give away a few t-shirts. Every
Nick
Friday.
suggested coffee mugs as he needs a new coffee mug. I think that's a great piece of swag giveaway. Yeah. T-shirts are great. That black Benzinga shirt, not only is it sharp, but it is super, super soft. So let's see if we can work that in, and Bosch will use the wheel in order to give those away. So we will take that and bring that into more future shows since it was so good yesterday.
Shows giveaway. T-shirts. I'm writing this down. T-shirts, mugs, hoodies in the winter.
Flip-flops in the summer.
We're just getting stuff done. Yeah. So, and then I'll keep you posted when 13 and I get our financial t-shirt shop up. I will give all of you folks the link. 13. I like I said, I hadn't told you this yet because you were on vacation and didn't want to overload you. Expect a call from me this weekend if you're free.
By the way, nice haircut.
Thank you.
Nice. I like
I was trying to take your cue.
I did. Where is it? See, I can't go here because then the lighting kind of shows off my bald spot, but like here it's
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I've seen Zunaid in person, and I can confirm he has no bald spots. Okay,
well,
folks?
look, it's right there. You can see like
That's
a little bit.
I mean,
it's thinning.
that's-
It's thinning for
okay.
sure. It's thinning for sure.
Trying to help you, Zunaid.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I mean, like, my hairline and my forehead, are like
Yeah.
old friends because, like, they go way back. So,
Well, look, right,
Anyway.
we can get back to trading here. Just like I just wanted to thank the chat because we had this. I'm gonna share my screen for like just a minute.
Hell yeah!
I wanted to thank the chat because we placed this underdog sports bet together. It was this one, the Al Horford one. I think it was on Tuesday, so 2 days ago. We placed this bet together. Chat, we did it together. I won $150, so thank you for that. I lost a couple of bets and then won 300 last night. So appreciate you guys for making me some money. Expect a lot more sports betting content in the next 3 weeks or so. But yeah, man, we like to not just bet on options, but also on some sports bets.
I see your sports bet, and I raise you a winning sports bet from yesterday, Zunaid. As
Okay.
I was telling you, when you start this sports betting thing, it's going to be an absolute crime if you don't
Yeah.
call me for the hockey
definitely will.
crispiness.
Yeah.
We got to come up with some clever name for pucks and ducks or something. Let's try to keep it clean and not go to the profanity that I know you all want to go to.
I just thought of a name, but yeah.
I know you did. But here you go. So even though we didn't have an Oilers win, we have a
That's
7-leg parlay, 1 unit paid out 87.86.
Nice.
There you go. That was from last night. Boom, boom, boom.
I'm so jealous that you are in a sports betting legalization of a state.
Okay, I will say this. That why am I full screen? Okay,
so you were sharing your.
No, I screwed up. I know. So that might be the case, and I understand where you're coming from on that. But I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to leave it here, and I'm not going to answer any follow-up questions. There are plenty of other things that absolutely suck about living in this state, and trust me, they outweigh the few good ones that you know about.
And
we'll just leave it at there.
That I can understand. Thankfully, I can, go offshore if I want a sports bet.
Yes. Also, traveling to the office, big sports betting event. So yes, definitely can do that.
Definitely will do that.
I've been getting a hassle to let you know that Kavl's halted to the downside.
Oh,
cool. All right. Well, I won't interrupt you. I might have to take a trip to Tennessee just to sports bet. Carbon, good to see you again. But all right, y'all, I'm out. Where's Nick? Nick is so locked in and focused. I love it. I love the tie in the morning.
Dude, look, Nick shows up, outdresses us every day, drops down news every single day, and then leaves like it ain't no thing. Like it is unbelievable. So Nick's done a great job here.
Sweet. All right, y'all. See you later. Bye.
Take care of yourself, Zunaid. It's great to see you here. Remember, there is Zunaid, no option Sandy today, right?
Yeah,
so
no,
we're not
I'm
going to get a dose of
I lost
Zunaid
power,
later.
so I'm in a hotel. I've got to travel back. I'm actually like in Alabama, which I don't know why I'm here. But yeah.
Roll Tide. Safe flight.
See ya. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. Oh, he's saying that quietly in Alabama. Better be quiet there in Alabama. Okay. So yeah, we just had a little fun there. What should we look at?
LGBN.
What?
LGBN. It's trying to push back up right now. Yeah. It just got close to VWAP, and I think it's trying to push back up there. It might not get it though. It's back and forth.
Ryan, we have some news on Meta.
Okay, what is it?
Meta says will not launch Meta AI in Europe at the moment. They say the move is due to request from Irish privacy regulator to delay training its large language models using public content shared by adults on Facebook and Instagram. Meta says this is a step backwards for European innovation, competition, and AI development. That's according to Reuters. So Meta put out some kind of blog, and Reuters is just pulling the details from that.
Okay. I mean, I'm not even sure if Meta's reacting to this low volume, although it is rolling over here.
Is anything?
Yeah, this is no. I'm looking across here. Chewy, Apple, Tesla. I mean, Costco's at the highs. You asked for something not rolling over. I have a stock for you, 13. COST.
Haven't heard of
at
that
the
before.
highs. Glad I have that. But yeah, this not looking good here. This not looking good here.
Yeah, Kavl open again, now breaking down. I think that if it's going to get any kind of recovery or support, it's going to start just under 4. LGVN, as long as it can hold above the 365 area, I think it still has the potential to push up some more. GME now down to 2760.
Netflix getting mentioned here. So what's the thought here on Netflix? Let me ask you. So T. Lee, all you did was mention Netflix. So I'm just going to kind of come up with my own question here. We can use it as a discussion point. If the consumer continues to weaken, as I think we're expecting here, do people stay at home and watch more Netflix? What if you were trying to spend less money, would you use Netflix as a substitute for going out? I guess would be another way to ask that.
No.
You said no. Fairchild says yes. Eva says, please take a look at Ali. Here is Ali, by the way. This is back and forth, kind of on low volume here. I'd actually like this to pull back towards an 80 handle, but that's just me on Ali. Yeah, to me, it seems like Netflix would be less affected by a weakening consumer. It's one of the cheaper subscriptions, and it's one of the ones that you can get the most bang for your buck with. So I think that if a consumer ever sits down with their finances and says, we got to kind of figure out what we're going to be doing a little bit differently here, I think Netflix is something that's not going to get chopped, and I would imagine it would get used and become more and more valuable. I don't know how that's going to affect the stock price, though. I would imagine Bosh. I just mean in general. I mean this in the PC way. You guys can.
Well, Ryan, there was a report yesterday from CNBC saying Netflix has been reaching out to broadcasters in hopes of one of them producing the NFL games that agreed to stream on Christmas Day. According to people familiar with the matter, Netflix has been in touch with the broadcasters that currently air NFL games, including Disney's ESPN, Comcast, NBC Universal, and Paramount Global CBS Sports. According to people, the NFL games, 2 slated for 24 and at least 1 in the following years, are Netflix's first real foray into live sports.
It'll be interesting to see how that goes.
I think there was a report saying if you wanted to watch every NFL game this year for the upcoming season, you would need to have pay at least $800 some for every streaming subscription.
So I have the YouTube Sunday ticket.
Okay.
So I buy that. I already have Amazon Prime. So aren't there games on Amazon? Yeah, the Thursday night games are on Prime. You're telling me about a game on Netflix, which I don't have. We'll see. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out how to do this. I'll figure out how to get this done.
Are we still really watching TV that much?
I mean, I watch sports. I watch sports and then a couple of my goofy shows like History's Greatest Mysteries and The Curse of Oak Island.
I mean,
There's me watching Hallmark.
I just find myself watching more and more, YouTube.
Me too. What I do in the evening, like when I quote unquote put my feet up, it's not to watch some broadcast. I'll watch a sports game if it's on, but I'll have my laptop there and I'll be watching YouTube. I watch a ton of podcast shows. Shout out Sean Ryan's show, by the way. I watch so much more YouTube. It's crazy how much I'm kind of moving over to that from traditional television.
The content is just better.
It is.
It's just better.
It is.
And there's more channels. You don't watch Alone on History Channel?
Yeah, dude. Even that one with like Lawrence Fishburne, where they go over all the possible theories about things that have happened. That stuff is so interesting to me. I could do that all day. God, I could do that all day. After I exercise, of course.
I'll have to share a channel with you that's kind of in that realm. Tell me if you like it. But I've been watching this particular channel that's been interesting to me lately. About real stories that have happened to cave divers and scuba divers and things like that.
Yeah, I am definitely interested in that. DJF saying Oak Island, they don't really find anything. What is it, like season 12? I would push back on that. They definitely find stuff, and they actually use real science in order to validate some of that stuff. Now, to your point, though, they haven't found any treasure chests or any pieces of gold or silver or the Ark of the Covenant or all these elaborate things that people have, theories about or whatever you want to call them. to me, what the most interesting part of the show is the history that they're uncovering. I mean, it's very, very clear that there were people on that island pre-Columbian. They literally have artifacts dated that were mined out of a mine in France that they also have dated. So a lot of really cool stuff going on there. To me, it's more about the history. I don't need them to find the Ark of the Covenant or the Holy Grail to feel good about it. I want to know what happened there. The only theory that you can officially write off about Oak Island, the only one that the evidence will write off, is that nothing happened there. That's it. Something definitely happened there. Is the Holy Grail buried there? I don't think so, but it's the history lesson in the story that I'm after. And I understand how that is not exciting for everybody else. I get it. I will say, I will agree with you. They dramatize finding wood a little too much. I'm with you on that. I totally get it. Anyway, sorry about the rant there on Oak Island. I know you're laughing. I know 13 is just beside himself.
I have such a horrible mind.
I know you do. But we love it. Bpth here right at Bpth here right at the VWAP, actually pushing through here. Great call, Tuna and Jane.
I don't know exactly why it's up lately, but Cooler has been pushing up. Interesting.
Jason was asking a question here. What platform is the Benzinga team using? Someone please tell. Okay, Jason, let me run them down here for you real quick. The platform that you are seeing on screen right now is the Trade the Pool Hub. Trade the Pool is the sponsor of this stream. They are a prop firm. This is the actual hub in which you execute orders from. So when you see me doing day trading here, I am exclusively using Trade the Pool's hub. Now, some of the other things that you have seen here is going to be Benzinga Pro. This is the most, with all due respect to Trade the Pool, this is the most important tool that I have in my arsenal. This is my newswire. This is my chat room. These are my scanners. This is charting. This is insider information. This is short interest information, government. I'm not even going to keep going because there's so much stuff. I don't want to bore you guys. But this is the platform that I use for pretty much all of the information gathering. And then my personal account that I have been trading on since 2014 is a Thinkorswim account. 13 uses Webull, as he's disclosed a number of times before.
Yep.
I hope that answers your question. Let me know if that was complete enough. Bill, I completely agree with this. Oak Island, whatever evidence is found will pretty much be ignored by academia unless it's some kind of treasure. And I'll be the first to say, I don't think they're going to find a massive treasure there. I think they're going to find some pieces that tell a story. And I don't think a lot of people are going to care. I think you're absolutely right about that.
The real treasure has been the viewership.
Well, that's the thing. For me, the week-to-week history lesson is worth it. I don't pay extra for it. That's really what's been worth it for me. But look, when you bill a show as hunting treasure and then at the end of it, you don't come out with a treasure chest, some people are going to be disappointed. There's nothing you can do about that. Nothing you can do about that. And, they're obviously trying to keep viewers, right? So they try to make the show interesting. I get what they're doing. I still find parts of it interesting. Okay, sorry. I know we talked a lot about TV there. I'm sorry about that. I just got all excited and started taking off there. Don't forget, we got Anne-Marie coming up here in about 14 minutes.
Now, Bpth, that one looks like, and it's over VWAP now for the moment, but need a little bit more volume here. We could possibly see this one get going again.
KAVL, sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say KAVL is recovering back up to VWAP, and LGBN is still trying to hold above its VWAP.
13, let me ask you a question here. Now that Zunaid is gone, have you been practicing any of those Daler Mendy dance moves that we can do when Zunaid comes on? Darn, I have. So
I was just going to say, I actually did that for my wife one day.
Yes,
we were playing that song.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm ready to release the exclusivity, but
okay. Lion Atlas, take care of yourself. Appreciate all your support and all your input here this week. Have yourself a great weekend, and we'll catch you on Monday, man.
Take care, Lion Atlas. That's my FSD buddy.
Bernard, you're in Nova Scotia this summer. I see if you can figure out what they're doing out there. I know there's going to be another season. The equipment should be out on the island already. All right, let me go back to trade the pool here. Hims buy the dip, says DJF. I think you feel like you've mentioned. Oh, but we mentioned Hims and Netflix for Netflix and now I'm putting the pieces together. Here, the Hims at the VWAP though. Let's see if we can actually cross above that.
WISA has an interesting formation here. Popped this morning, kind of consolidating right at the moment. Volume's really low, but the formation here is interesting. Like it could end up going higher into the above the 250 area. So just wanted to point that out there if you're looking for a trade. This one could end up doing something. Bpth, that one's still moving up. Volume is expanding a little bit here. Looks like it's looking for a 245 break. See what happens if that goes.
ONMD right here at the VWAP.
Yeah, and as is Kavl. And
are we going to break through this, do you think?
Which one? And Kavl?
Kavl, yeah.
Not with this volume. As a matter of fact, we could probably draw a trend line here from intraday trend line. We got at 804, and then we had this high here at 679. Draw a trend line there. That's going to be the trend line to break intraday.
Here, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Horizontal line. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Boom, boom, boom. Here is what we're looking for. Good call there.
That's what we want to see break. All right, so LGVN finally lost that 365, 370 level, and it is down at VWAP right now. Trying to see if it's going to hold or break down more. We have about 20 seconds left in this 5-minute candle here, so we'll see what happens. Zap's still going down. ONMD hasn't gone back above its VWAP. Bpth still trying to push up. What a snoozer.
Yeah.
Any leaves for Bpth? Any tea leaves? I mean, it's looking like it's trying to get going here. We're getting some EMA crossing VWAP, so that can help lift it a little bit. Now, what I'd like to see, if we're going to continue moving up, is to break this intraday high that we got that is up at, what is that, 260? So I think 260 is going to be the next level to watch for a breakout. And then after that, we have the pre-market highs, which are 290.
I'm sorry. I was actually answering Anne Marie as I get ready for her show here. What ticker did you have on there?
That was Bpth.
Bpth, right. Ryan, check out Waste Management for a swing trade. I'll tell you what, Waste Management is run like it's owned by the mob. Just gonna say that real quick. I've dealt with them as being a condo board member. They're tough. One thing here with Waste Management. So the thing that I like here, I like that it's holding the 200. Generally speaking, when I have these stocks that kind of feel like they're on the backside of a move, as Waste Management does here, I'd like to add closer to the 200. So I'd really like this to pull back to 186. However, if we break this 200 level that we're clearly straddling right now, and we're still able to hold this 196, 197 area, Jay, I think I could be talked into this one. This is going to be the base of that island, and maybe this holds and moves back towards the highs. Highs of this initial move here would be what, 214? So pretty decent range there.
Yeah, I like Waste Management.
Jay's life. WM and Otis Elevator are most definitely run by the mob. I know exactly why you're saying. I can't confirm if that's true or not, but I know exactly why you're saying that, and you're right. That's pretty funny.
And STFU, you're referring to the trend line in Kavl? I believe that's what you're referring to. That there's an account for the halt down. I'm only looking for this to break in the trend line. I'm not looking for any gapping if that's the one you're referring to.
Let me go back to the platform here real quick. Kavl getting mentioned.
Yeah. No. He's
Oh, the
answering the
ticker.
question.
Yeah. Yep. Waste Management, Sopranos. Yeah, you know what? Every time someone brings up Waste Management, I think about the Sopranos show. BRTX, by the way, this actually curling up out of its sideways formation here. BRTX, look at this. Let's see if we can go to the after hours highs here. I got that at what, 206? Oh, just a couple pennies away from that.
Wow, BPTH. It's still struggling here. Still struggling to take out 250. CLSK moving. So that means what? Bitcoin's recovering as well? Okay, yeah, look, there's some recovery in Bitcoin. So I think all those Bitcoin names might see a little bit of recovery as well. But CLSK tends to move better than some of these other ones.
Watch Guild, Ryan. We are getting reports.
Gilead.
Gilead. The reporter from Stat News has just put on X that Guild is an obesity play. I repeat, Guild obesity. So it was moving higher off his post around 5 minutes ago. Coming back just a little bit, but just watch Guild.
Yeah, you know what though? Current candle took us right to the VWAP here, so I'm kind of curious to know what that actually is. $74 price target this morning from RBC Capital on Gilead as well. Again, that is ticker GILD. That's why we're saying Guild as well.
Oh, thanks for that information, Fairchild.
Oh, DJF. Now, look. So I get this. So real quick here, Nick, this is an extremely respectful comment here from DJF. You should take this as an extreme compliment. Vote for Nick to replace Charlie. So Charlie's our squawker on Benzinga Pro. I don't think Charlie has any plans to leave. However, he is, getting older. Nick is obviously quite young and does a great job announcing and reading off news. Nick, you ever thought about something like that?
Well, thank you for that. I didn't even think about that.
That is an amazing comparison to get, Nick. Just FYI. But something to consider. You're really good at reading news.
Yeah, as long as STFU, as long as the VWAP continues to put pressure on the price, then yeah, I would agree that we're still going to see some downside price action. I'd want to see, we need to see a VWAP recovery, and we just saw in the past 15 minutes it got rejected there. So I think once we get past VWAP, we can have that discussion about breaking trends, but we're getting close. It's still holding up here, and if you look at the price action from this morning, this is the support that it's been getting at around close to 450. That was the resistance from earlier this morning. So I think if we lose that, then yes, it's going to be a short down until about $4. I would agree with that. LGVN still trying to push up. This has been the big hope today.
Voodoo hits it right on the nose here. But you always think ahead. You always think ahead. DJF, I appreciate that really nice comment for Nick. That means a lot.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah.
And I'd get behind that too. Wow.
LGVN back above that VWAP. God, am I so glad that ended up working out. Holy smokes. And you know what else is that, like, that's going to be perfect for like the whole, we got to get these patient, I got to get these shirts going here because that patient shirt's too good. That's too good. Too good.
I still want the Honey Bear one.
Honey Bear, uninvestable.
Uninvestable.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we did see a lot of overselling in Kavl. That's true.
And look at your trend line. Look at your trend line. We are still holding that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, and you know, STFU and I are kind of having a conversation, and he made a point about the halt kind of skewing the trend line. So I can see that, but I think the real big issue that we need to get through here with Kavl is VWAP. We haven't been able to reclaim that, but it's interesting now because VWAP and that trend line are almost in coexistence. So it'd be an interesting break if we get it here. And I'm on a 5-minute chart too, by the way. Yeah,
this CERO. Okay, yeah, this was moving. This is just a penny stock, but that one has been on the scanner, I feel like, all day. Sorry, 13, if I ran you over right there.
It's okay. Just getting another mention from Rick Potter about LGVN. It looks like this is just needing to get above the 365 to 370 level, and then we're back up into that zone of where we're getting resistance around the 390 area. So 390 still definitely a resistance area. We saw it when we got a pop to 410. It came right back in. We need the volume to get through and stay above 390. That's kind of what I'm on right now. I just don't know about Kavl. It could be curling. Oh, here we go with LGVN. Pushing through that 365.
All right. We are, today was a really good day. 13, welcome back. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you're back and you're back safe. It is time for Anne Marie show, so we're going to go ahead and close the week out, but we had a good one. I don't know about you folks. I'm excited for Monday. This is the first job that I've had where on Friday I'm already talking about being excited for Monday, but here we are. Can't wait. Hope you two have a great weekend. Any parting words?
Good to be back. I'll see you on Monday. Stay green.
Nick?
Have a good weekend. Enjoy the weekend because it always goes by so fast, and we will see you on Monday.
Indeed. Really good stuff, folks. Thank you so much for all of your participation here. 13, we will see you. Nick, we will see you on Monday. Nick and clicking the wrong buttons there. Sorry about that, Alyssa. Now I see why you keep your camera off in case I accidentally put you on air. All right, 13 and Nick leave room for Anne Marie. We will go ahead and bring her on. Anne Marie, how are you doing here today?
I'm doing really well. You know, it's Friday just before options expiry, and you know, we're sitting in spaces where a lot of big things could happen, and so I love what we're going to do today, particularly.
Yeah, me too. And we're gonna try something new. So we're gonna try. I'm gonna use a scanner here to maybe pick some. But if we have some requests from the chat, should we do that as well?
Of course.
Okay. Well, let me first bring this up here, Anne Marie. Let me get the notes that you had here. This was just an absolutely incredible idea. I like this. We should call this particular show High Flyer Fridays. Sound good to you? Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So what we're going to do here is we'll actually create a scanner to try and scan for some of these high flyers, and we can pick from that list. Obviously, if there are people in the chat that have some that we want to take a look at, we'll do that. But let's go ahead and just kind of do this as a little bit of an experiment. All right?
Love it.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and share Benzinga Pro for the time being, and I'm going to create a new workspace for this. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a scanner, and we're going to do details because we're going to look for things, but we also want to view the things that we look for here. I'm going to go to a chart here. Now, for the scanner, what we're going to do is we're going to first add MTD. Go to all here, and we're going to add a filter that we have called MTD, month to date change percentage. Now, I want to view this first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this to the results table. While we're doing this, I'm also going to add YTD. I mean, why not? We've got them both. And now what we can do here to very quickly get this is we can actually click on the column itself and sort that. And one of the things that you're going to notice here is that the top several tickers are all these smaller, junkier names that likely don't even have options chains. So that's not going to work for us. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and apply a market cap filter. That's going to be, I believe, in fundamental. And in here, we're going to do custom, and we're going to do 50 billion. All right. So here we go. We got a minimum market cap filter of 50 billion. And now we can sort all of these stocks in order of their month to date percent change. Anne-Marie, I'm going to read you a few right off the top here. You tell me if any of these sound like they're in our wheelhouse. First one here is going to be ARM.
Interesting.
This looks like a high flyer to me. Second one's going to be Broadcom. Actually Broadcom here on the day, we have my favorite formation in all of the trading land in the floating island. So this is something separate from what Anne-Marie is going to be looking at. This is something that I will be watching here on Broadcom. Yes, I know we've got a split coming up next month as well. Next one on the list here is going to be CrowdStrike. Also has a floating island being formed there. Adobe, which had earnings here this morning. Oracle, NVIDIA, TSM, Micron, and Apple. Does this sound like the high flyer stocks we had in mind here, Anne-Marie?
That works. That absolutely works.
Okay, so which one would you like to start with?
Let's go from the top.
All right, we'll start here with ARM. I'll keep this scanner up on the side, Anne-Marie, and we can refer to this as needed. I'm going to go ahead and bring your screen up here for ARM.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. You're like, Anne-Marie, why are you drawing a rectangle from over there? This is the largest daily volume candle in recent history in the chart. It occurred in February. And if you'll notice, where we're sitting right now is that we broke through that top, but we could not hold it. So today is going to be very, very interesting. What would we anticipate happening here in this range off of the very high volume? So two things happen. One, over time, that base that has been created says, time to go higher. And then two, we have a fade that usually comes into the 50% mark, catches a drift, and then moves to the north. So the question is, what might we want to do in these kinds of spaces where we're looking at high flyers for not so near term? You can extend price action way out into further, but let's say you want to be very aggressive and you're thinking to yourself, hey, this is going to go great. I'm going to do something that expires next month, and we're going to price those very quickly. Now have a look. Here's the anticipation. We're going to use the measured move. I know I'm such a boring gal because I do the same things over and over and over again.
Yeah, there's nothing boring about consistently making money, at least not in my book.
So we're going to do it again, and we're going to see that halfway up the chain is 187, and halfway down the chain is 142. So let's work on those and think about the double butterfly. 142, let's say 145. We can go to 135 and then 125. That gives us $1 of risk for $10 motion to the fade for July, or our 187 and some change, and that gives us 185 to 195. Whoops, to 210. Now, that widens the risk a little bit. So that's why it's only a penny. Okay, so we could also widen the risk down here to 120, and that changes it. So when we widen the risk, what is the likelihood of potentially what's happening? Wow, and that butterfly just turned to a credit. So if I went up to 200, that would become a debit. And if I went down to 190, if it really expands in the near term, these are going to do very, very well. Okay, so I shifted this. Go ahead.
So real quick on that though, if you could quickly go back to the chart here, I actually don't think that's out of the question, because the formation that we're getting here is a pretty significant double top on the arm chart. And the reality is in my opinion, Anne-Marie, one of two things is going to happen here. You're either going to get rejected at that, which puts that downward butterfly in play, or you're going to break out from the top of this. I think that the targets that you're listing there are totally within play here. I think this could really get the juice if this breaks out.
Absolutely. And we've got a very solid linear regression channel going and some upward motion. And so if we go, hey, I could make $2 by July, this looks really, really good. All right. If you want risk, remember, when we have butterflies that have expanded risk, it means that one of the legs, the leg on the bottom, is further away from the middle strike than the top strike. So let's say we didn't want to do that, and we did, let's see, if we went to 140 to then 130 to 120, that's still $1. So it seems reasonable to me to stick with the 145 and 135. Yeah. And so what this gives us is about 90 cents of risk and $9.10 of upside. And it happens in the near term.
That's 10 to 1.
Yes. If it works, it's 10 to 1. Yeah. It's fantastic. So here's what we think of reasonably. We think reasonably, I might get 3 to 1. Right? So we're thinking to ourselves, hey, this could be 10 to 1, but our goal is rounded about 2.5, 3 to 1. Sometimes it goes great. Sometimes it doesn't. But if you think conservatively, butterflies are going to give you the win very often. So what do you need to do? When you take the butterfly, take the middle strike. All right, let's go to the next chart.
Okay. Actually, if that's all right here real quick, couple of things. Heats is saying, what about those good till cancel trades for Nvidia, Snow, and First Solar? Should we still keep the order for good till cancel, or should we cancel? The reason I bring this up is because 2 of these, maybe even 3 of these, could be considered a high flyer.
That's very true. Now, here's the thing. Last time we were together, you were managing the show. And Bonehead Fred over here, forgive me if anybody's named Fred, it's just something that I call myself on occasion. Yeah. Bonehead Fred here forgot to take that info back from me. So I don't know if it's sitting in your charts anywhere, but it is not sitting in mine. Ooh. So I don't know the strikes. So what happened with First Solar is that it absolutely exploded. So I would pull everything off of there. Did you
I am
remember
so sorry. No, I am going to my Analyze tab and my Add Simulated Trades tab. And I know exactly what happened to Anne-Marie. In order to share it, because I have a super high resolution screen, I popped it out. And when I was done with it, I closed it, and I too lost it.
Bye-bye.
Okay. So first of all, Heats, I would like to issue an apology to you, because normally between Anne-Marie and I, one of us is going to have this covered. I think with the traveling and the Thinkorswim not opening and the whole thing, we really had kind of an outlier here. That generally won't be the case. So I'm sorry for letting you down. I take responsibility for that. We'll see if we can cover any of these. I don't have those here.
Yes.
That's such a bummer. Anne-Marie, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. I should have, but I I just didn't think of it. It just went straight out of my head. So I would say pull them all. If they did not fail based on the motion from the Fed, go ahead and pull them all, and then we'll just reset and regroup.
And the good, that's okay. I like that. And the other good thing here, again, I'm going to highlight these tickers. The good thing here, Heats, is that these tickers that you've mentioned, these always seem to be in the news cycle.
Yes.
So what Anne-Marie's saying, we had a plan. We had a good till cancel order with kind of casting kind of a wide net to try and get that filled. It didn't happen. The binary event is over. Now we can try and set these up. So maybe pull them all and don't expose yourself. Okay. Great. I did. Good job handling a mistake there. The next one on the list that we had here was Broadcom, was Avago. But before we do that one, I really quickly wanted to just answer this. I don't, Eris stocks, I'm not ignoring you. You had asked if you could please take a look at VERX. Here's the problem. I did that while Anne-Marie was doing that. The option chain in here looks pretty light. So I'm unsure about what type of nice trade we can get here. Anne-Marie, if you want to take this one, that's fine, but I've got a high flyer for you if we can't do it.
So what's happening here is a breakout of a range. And so 50% of the range retracement is a reasonable place. I don't believe it's a good place to buy right now, even though it could move up, maybe even 5, 6, 7% more in this late cycle, because it is making higher lows and higher highs. As momentum fades, because it's lower than this edge, as momentum fades, even though we have an upward moving average, the fading of momentum suggests mean reversion. And so you can see that rotating over and coming right back here. I'd say wait till 34.
Okay. Air stocks, let me know if that was helpful for you. Now, as far as the next high flyer, AVGO, Broadcom, that would be it. And you know what? Again, we got a split coming up here in a month. This thing has run like crazy. They announced a buyback with their earnings on that huge pop. So let's figure it out here. Broadcom, ticker AVGO.
Okay, so AVGO, the highest volume candlestick is the one that occurred yesterday off of the back of earnings, and they apparently blew the doors off of the earnings and guidance. However, as we can see, we're sitting inside of the range of the box. Now, I would love to sit with Ryan offline and talk about why he loves the island so much. I get nervous with islands. I think they have a tendency to either reverse or really accelerate, but sometimes they sit sideways for a bit. So the question might be, into the split, what might we see? And my thought is the edge at the top heading higher, the edge at the bottom heading lower, and each one of them gives us the duplicate of the size of the range, which was almost $100 from low to high. So we would look at 1735-ish maybe, and then 1650. So maybe we look at 1750 and 1650. Now, they are splitting. So we could have two things. We could have a pre-split lovey-dove time where prices could creep up to the top, or we have a post-split hangover, or a post-split continuation. Any of those can happen. How can we do it? We put on a butterfly, right? So again, we expect, when's the split? When is the day of the split?
Excuse me, July 15th.
July 15th. All right. So we would need to go, that would only be 4 days. So we would need to go to August. Why? If it's got a post-split move, we want to give it a chance to do its thing. So let's do that.
And would you not want to use a weekly contract because we might not be able to get the same type of fills? The volume might be lower on the weekly contract.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought so.
We would definitely use the monthlies to give ourselves a shot at getting in. All right. So we have 1720, 1740. Let's try 40. 1740 to 1760. Those are 18. Let's give it $100. 1840. So yeah, and then I don't know, maybe we want to go 1840 to 2040. So let's go to 21. Whoa, that's a credit. So let's not do 21. A credit is nice. Market makers sometimes don't like to give them to us. And so let's just go with 2000. It gives us $1.35. So listen to this. If it runs the way NVIDIA was running, this is going to go up to that 1840 before we know it. Oh my gosh, it dropped to a credit already. So we've got $100 of risk on the top and $160 of risk on the bottom. The only reason, I mean, we could do, if we went to 1980, yeah, let's go to 2000, right? Because the goal is, hey, I'm only staying in here till the middle strike. What is it a 10-to-1 split?
I believe it's here. Let me look it up for you. And really quickly, while I'm getting you that split ratio, DJAF is adding some technicalities here. It is effective, or excuse me, it happens after the market on Friday, July 12th, effective on the 15th. The split itself, though, is a 1 for 20. Nope. Sorry. Hang on a sec. Gosh, I took it off my screen for 1 second and I can't find it. Splits right here. It is a 10-to-1 forward split.
Okay. So then we're going to go 1600 to 1500. Prices of these are great. To 1400. Wow, that's expensive. So if we fade down here and we break half the gap, that would mean, yeah, 1550 would be the midpoint. I have 1600. All right. So 1550.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 1550 is not traded, is it? 1560 is traded and then 1540. So let's do 1540 to 1440 to 1300. Very expensive put options for the spread down. So that one not looking so pretty at all. We would have to go all the way to the base of the gap at 1500 to see if that gave us anything. 1500 to 1400 to 1300. Whoa, monstrous. Yeah, these are, people are expecting, they have priced. Wow. Look at the vol. Yeah, the implied vol is 246%, and they have really priced it hot and heavy on the put side. So
they think it's coming back in.
Yeah, they do. They do. So if we were to sit happenstance and say, all right, they think it comes in, and we go back to 14, let's just take this one last shot and see if it gives us anything reasonable. 1400 to 1300 to 1200. What? It's still $5.
Yeah, that is still expensive. My goodness.
Wow, that's $300 away. All right, so this is a place where I would say, hey, listen, put it in there for GTC for 95 cents, 90 cents, something like that, and see if it gives it to you. The call one is easy, but my suspicion is, man, you could probably sell a butterfly and make a boatload of cash.
You know, the one thing that I will notice here is that it is kind of a broken wing there on that call butterfly. You have 100 points. Yeah.
You've got
so that
$60
might be
more of risk.
Yep.
Oh, wonder if, all right, let's do that then one more time. And this happens a lot when you're, when you're trying to find a 1,500, 1,300, 1,100. Okay, this is a $200 spread. Let me look. $22 credit. If I'm buying it and I move that to 1,000 and open up the risk, yeah, I mean, 6 ways to Sunday, folks. This is the first butterfly I've seen in forever that I would be willing to sell. Now, the risk premium is going to be big. And so you're going to have an outsized account to do something like that. I would say I'm going to take that trade. If it's only $100 wide, let's move it to $100. Man, I can't even tell you the last time I saw premium that looked this good. This is fantastic. All right, let's go to 1,300. Yeah, it's amazing what you can do when you start digging around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might take this for see what erosion moves us into. I mean, there's a crap ton of risk sitting there. So I'd be very careful.
So I'll tell you what we've been doing here is we've been doing the write-ups on these. Let's make sure in the write-up for this one that we include all of that information, right? We want to make sure that we know what
let me snapshot
what the different risks and stuff are for this one.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And if you're the kind of person that goes, listen, I think this thing's going to come in. Here's what's going to happen. It's only $200 away, right? Which is, I wonder if this thing is cheaper the closer it is to the expiry. I just find this pricing to be insane. 650, it's 660. I know, I'm sorry. I've fallen into my death spiral of, wait, what? So hang on.
But that happens though. That's the type of thing that happens when you do stuff like this. Like DJAF was saying, got to be able to do math on the fly like this if you want to trade options, kids. And I mean, I think there's a lot to that, right? Like one of the things that's eye-opening for me in your trade planning, Anne-Marie, is how when you're simulating the trade first, you're actually coming in here and trying a bunch of different variables. You're waiting till the pricing actually meets what you're looking to do. And then you're also at the same time, I don't even know how you're doing this, but at the same time, you're looking for pricing that seems out of the ordinary that maybe you can take advantage of.
Exactly.
And I think for one, and I think about this myself all the time, but when I think about my trading of multi-leg options, this is not something that I totally have tied together. So I actually think the fact that you're walking through this process is probably the most valuable part of the whole thing.
Thank you. No, I don't feel like
no, don't feel bad. Because I sit here and I watch you do this and I think to myself, this is what I've been missing when I'm planning some of these trades on my own. I've been missing the kind of playing around with the different strikes, seeing what the most attractive pricing is. And I think that can actually really help the P&L at the end of the day here.
100%. 100%. All right. I am going to, the one thing we can see this jumping around all over the place based on the pricing. So we're definitely going to put good till cancel on this.
Okay.
And just try and let the market makers wiggle around and give us a better shot. So I put 2 of those in. One, I'll talk about, hey, listen, this is how, what if we sell the butterfly versus if we buy it. All right. I think we have room for one more.
Yeah, I think let's do it here. Let me get my scanner back up here. The next one that I had on the list was CrowdStrike. Now, I know we did one recently on CrowdStrike, so if you want a different ticker, we could do Adobe, which reported earnings overnight, but that would be it. I would say either CrowdStrike or Adobe.
Let's go for Adobe. All right. So this is very interesting. So the highest volume candlestick is way down here. And remember, why would I use a high volume candlestick? For those of us that are a little bit new, that may not have joined the show very often, when I look at the highest volume candlestick, what it's telling me is when big news came out, people initiated information, and I'm always going to look at it from the space of what happened to the buyers, because the market is a naturally buying side of things. If you hold forever for the best of them, you will likely go up. All right. So I'm always looking at what happened to the buyers. So here's what happened to these buyers. They bought the dip, and then it moved out, and they said, oh my goodness, here we go. And guess what they could not do? Get to a 2x. They could not recover twice over the value. Notice what else it's so close to. The low here. So we had a support, a fade, traders that went, come on, man, it's Adobe. Buying it, saying, here we go. And the sellers from here said, no, you don't. Or the buyers here went, holy cow, I got to get out of here. That fade made me nervous. And so the sellers took control. And at the bottom here, look at what's happening. The buyers go, okay, let me try it again. Try it again. Double bottom, double bottom. Sellers, look at the 50% line with the eyeball between this range. The 50% line said, thou shalt not pass, right? And so, sorry, Monty Python there for you, folks.
That's exactly what I actually pictured Gandalf, to be honest with you. So, you shall not pass.
Yes, exactly. And so look at it again. Not going to pass. Comes in, fades again. Now, if we could duplicate all the way over, I bet that would be a 4x right here, 1 and 2, sorry, a 2x down there. But look at what we did here. Well outside of this edge. Now, if we cannot close over 522, we're back to 500 and potentially 480. If we are going to stay up here, we are going to go again north. So we're going to go 1 and then 2. And of course, you could do this with a Fibonacci. And look at where that takes us, right to this edge. That is resistance, resistance, a breakout, and the move north. If we do it one more time, look at us. We get to the top of the range. If you don't think big traders use measured moves, you need to think again.
Yeah.
Because they do. And so our thought process should be, okay, if we get up over 550, we're going to 560 and then probably to 580. 560 is a great mid strike. If we lose this, what would it be? Wow, that would make it expensive. If we lose 500, that's the midline of this area. 510, that's what we're looking at. So we're going to look at the 510 strike and the 540 strike.
What was really quickly, what was the top end of that last box there? Not that one, the one right beneath it. What was the top end of that range? I couldn't quite see it. Yep, that
540.
one. 541. Okay. So you know what's interesting here is that the 200-day on the daily is 544 and the 50-day on the weekly is 538. That level is literally smack dab between those two moving averages. That's wild.
Excellent.
That is wild.
That's excellent. All right. So we're going to do the 540 to 550 to 560. It's going to give us a buck. And then we're going to go 510, 500, 490. So it looks like about $1.60 to $1.70 for exposure. What do you want to do? The middle strike. You got to get out at the middle strike. The second it pops up, if it's only 2x or 3x and you look at it and you go, I was looking forward to having an 8-bagger or whatever, just say to yourself, don't be greedy. Pigs get fat, but hogs get slaughtered. So just relax and ease into it and take it. But notice what's happening here, folks. This spread is rotating all around. You could get these things for potentially much cheaper. So stare them down. Maybe you put in one at 60 cents and then one at 50 cents. And then, maybe you take another one at another price. But remember, the probabilities are always light. And what you want to do is move to the center strike. And as soon as that happens, you say goodbye and you go, oh, well, this only gave me 2x, or, oh, well, looks like I lost 50%. And I'm telling you this because butterflies will do that. That's why you don't bet the farm. If you go, hey, listen, I'm going to bet $300, or I'm going to, I shouldn't say bet, should I? I'm going to place a position, statistically speaking, because we are looking at the formations and saying, okay, from a measured move perspective, we could go here, we could go here. I'm going to give it, 60 days to do that. If you went to July, because you said, I don't want to wait that long, I want to see if it can do it in July, right? You can also take it then, but just manage that risk. Manage it. Just don't bet outsized. Listen, when a trade is going well, you're always going to wish you had a bigger size. And when a trade is going badly, you're always going to wish you had a smaller size. Or you're going to wish you'd never taken it.
Yep. Been there. All right. Real good stuff here. We had no one behind us, so we actually didn't. I know we went a couple minutes over. No big deal. That actually worked out here today. We are going to be respectful of your time, though. Real quick here. Voodoo saying, I agree. I'm learning more about the value of this butterfly option than I ever would have if I had just looked at it before. This was in reference to us discussing and changing some of the different parameters. I find that quite helpful. DJF saying, finally finding oddly priced or mispriced options in the chain is like walking around and finding gold on the sidewalk. So we're doing it, Anne-Marie. We're doing it here. No reason to worry about that. Thanks very much. We will have a write-up for this. We're going to be ending the stream here for today. We will see you next week, though. Right, Anne-Marie? We're going to be here on Tuesday?
Absolutely. See you Tuesday.
Fantastic. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. Stay green, stay